Well, good afternoon. My name is Willie Lawson of the Willie Lawson Show, and we're doing something new. We're doing something new, and that's what it's always been about. It's about breaking in new territory and trying to do something new. We don't always have all the tools we need. We don't always have all the things we need, but we're willing to try it. That's the cool thing about the Willie Lawson Show. We're willing to try it. As a matter of fact, we've not been doing as many Blog Talk radio shows or Spreaker shows. Right now, the Spreaker rent is due, which is why we're not on Spreaker right now. The Spreaker rent is due. And it's not going to get paid for, it's the 17th for another 3 days. So when the Spreaker rent is paid, then we'll be back on Spreaker. And we've not been doing many Blog Talk radio shows because I've been campaigning. I'm running for county commission here in beautiful Hillsborough County, Tampa Bay. Congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning, as a matter of fact, for having a wonderful season and galvanizing the Tampa Bay area and Hillsborough County. Jeffrey Vinnick, who's the owner of the Tampa Bay Lightning hockey franchise, is probably the best owner we have in town, because Mr. Vinnick has decided to not just take the money out of the community, that the community invests in the team, but actually invest that money back into the community with his investment in Channel Side, his investment in the improvements inside of the arena, Amalie Arena. And any of you who've been to a hockey game, especially the last game that was here, saw a pregame show, and thanks to Mr. Vinnick, it's probably the best indoor arena pregame show that you've ever seen. Everybody who came out of there was awestruck. So thank you, Jeffrey Vinnick, for being the kind of owner that the Tampa Bay area needs and Hillsborough County needs. So I've been busy doing that. So we've not done as many Blog Talk radio shows as we normally do. We usually do one every day. We haven't done one every day, but we've tried to do a couple a week. And I want to do more of this. We are actually using PowerDirector 13 on a trial basis to see if it's something that we can use long term. And if we can use it long term, I'm going to ask our viewers and listeners to help us with the cost of it, because there's cost to everything. And I'm in a weird situation because, frankly, I'm raising money for my campaign, and I'm still raising money for the Willie Lawson Show on Blog Talk Radio, Spreaker, and hopefully YouTube and Daily Motion. If we can get these videos going in a way that can impact in a positive way. So we're trying. We're still. I mean, I know you may not have heard from us lately, but we are trying. There are a couple of videos out there. As a matter of fact, we're going to play in this show today. We're going to play one of the videos that frankly has one of my videos has more views than any video I've ever done. And I did it in cahoots with Florida Dash and Urban Game Changer, Florida, and it got picked up by the Tea Party News Network, and it now has over 12,000 views. And I am really happy with it and proud of it, and proud that somebody else would see it and think that it was worthy of their website, and they went with it, and the views just went through the ceiling. So I am confident this is a fabulous means of getting our message out. What we talking about, the things that we talk about. So today I'm going to show you that video. I'm going to play you a video from some friends of mine who are starting a business, Tampa Bay area. We're going to get that video out today here on this show, and we're going to talk about some of the other things that we can do. And you know what? And we can even, if you'd like us to help you get your video out, we could use this venue and this avenue by which to do that. We're all about helping each other. You know, and you scratch over here, I scratch over there, you scratch over here. You know, that's kind of how it is, right? And the better the quality of what we can do. Now, right now we're working from just my laptop camera, the camera that's on the laptop right there. You see right there. I'd like to work from a nicer camera, but we don't have the interfaces to do that. And again, it all is going to depend on how much we want to put into this. That's what it's going to depend on. So I'd like to talk about Rachel Dolezal when we get back. Thanks again for coming and watching today. I want to talk about Rachel Dolezal because this is nutty, and nothing has affected me in this whole race arena more than this incident about Rachel Dolezal, the former president of the Spokane, Washington NAACP. Be right back after this messages. Alrighty, thank you so much for coming to our short video on one of our fabulous affiliate partners, New Homes of Tampa Bay. New Homes of Tampa Bay has increased the level of innovation in buying a new home, in my opinion, tenfold. They are providing something that I think that is so needed, necessary in the new home buying process, an advocate. So often we are in these situations and we are like lambs to the slaughter. It's simply not because home builders are evil, awful people. Is that we just know so little about the process. We're sort of prisoners and held captive and hostage, not by the individuals, but by the process itself. That there are so many things that we don't know and don't understand. And if we just had somebody to explain it to us, we had somebody to explain our options to us, or even tell us that we have options, it would make a huge difference. And that's where my friends at New Home of Tampa Bay, my friends Gary Knight at New Home of Tampa Bay come in. What they do is that they will work with you from the beginning of the process through the entire process or at any point in the process. My advice is always get all the information you can up front, because it is going to be extremely important in order to, when buying a new home, to have as many decisions made in the beginning of the process that really cuts down the level of stress and angst toward the end of the process. And it makes you feel like you've done your due diligence, that you have gotten help, that you have made the right choice for you and your family. So now you're moving into this neighborhood, and the schools that you expected to be there are there. The amenities for the neighborhood that you expected to be there are there. The amenities that you had built into your home are there. The cost-cutting measures, especially for energy and the like, are actually in your home as they were promised. The quality of the kitchen and all the stuff in your house is exactly what you were promised. Why? Because you had an advocate. You had somebody on your side. You know, the car buying industry has gotten that already by having car buying services which act as an advocate, a go-between you and the dealer. And now my friends at New Homes of Tampa Bay have taken that very same concept and become your advocate with the home builder and the developers. Because now they can ask the questions that you don't know to ask. I mean, we've all been through any number of processes as adults where we just didn't know enough. We were too ignorant to ask a really important question. A question that might end up being a deal breaker. If you had, how many times have you said, if I had known, I wouldn't have done this at all? If I had known that this was even a possibility, I wouldn't have done this at all. A lot of us have said that many, many times through many, many processes that we all learn to get through as adults, whether it's buying homes or buying cars or, or buying appliances, whatever. If we had just known what questions to ask, maybe we wouldn't have done it at all and saved ourselves some time, some heartbreak, and an awful lot of cash. That's why you want to contact my friends at New Homes Tampa Bay. You can go to their website at newhomestpa.com. That's newhomestpa.com, or you can call my friend Gary at 813-770-9452. 813-770-9452, because that's what you want to do. You want help. This is an extremely important process, and chances are you won't do it 8 or 9 times. Chances are you'll do it once or twice in your lifetime. And for the amount of money that's involved, you don't want to screw it up. You want to get as much help in the process as you possibly can. And because you've watched this presentation, you have the ability now to tell Gary, when you contact him, that you heard it here, and at the end of the process, they'll slide across the table a gift card for Lowe's, Home Depot, or IKEA for $1,000. That way you can buy that lawnmower. I mean, the story I tell on my show, I do an internet radio show, is that when we bought our first home, we got in the house and we're all excited, and then I looked outside and thought, how am I going to mow that grass? We had been apartment dwellers, and the last thing I had thought about was, we don't have a lawnmower. We don't have any lawn tools at all. I don't have a rake. I don't have a hoe. I don't have any lawn tools at all. How awesome would it have been to have that $1,000 gift card at the end of the process? Because things were a little tight after closing. Can you imagine? A little tight. But how nice it would have been to be able to run down to Home Depot or Lowe's or IKEA and get those things that we so sorely needed right away. Gary and the great folks at New Homes Tampa Bay are allowing you to do just that, just because you can reference this video when you give them a call at 813-770-9452. All right, we got to get out of here. Thanks so much for coming to our little presentation. Until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now. Alrighty, welcome back to the Willie Lawson Show here on YouTube and Daily Motion and wherever else you happen to find it here on the Willie Lawson Show website. Rachel Dolezal. Rachel Dolezal is a white girl, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white girl that has for more than a decade been passing herself off as black. As a matter of fact, in an interview she did with Melissa Harris Perry on MSNBC, she said that she knew that she was black when she was 5 years old. This is whole sort of trans nonsense. All this is trans nonsense that she's really a black girl in a white girl's body. Doesn't it sort of remind you of the whole premise of the movie The Jerk, where Steve Martin says, "I was born a poor black child"? Well, Rachel Dolezal has taken it to a whole different level. Not only does she say that she was born a poor black child, that poor black child is still in her, and that's who she really is. That's who she really is. That she is black. Well, I got news for you, Rachel Dolezal. What you are not is black, because you were able to, even through all that period, able to benefit from the from the advantages of being white that your parents gave you in Montana. That's why you were able to go to Washington State University, and you were able to go to Howard University because of the advantages and the privileges you had because you are indeed white. You didn't grow up like your black female contemporary. You didn't have the same hurdles. You didn't have the same social hurdles. You didn't have the same academic hurdles. You didn't have the same economic hurdles that your counterpart that you say you identify with had. You didn't have those. The fact of the matter is that you got to skate a whole lot because you were blue-eyed, blonde-haired white girl. That's who you are. No one will talk to you this way because I guess they're afraid that that anybody who is as mentally ill as you are is too fragile. At some point, you need counseling, woman. You need counseling because you have lost your damn mind. And you know what's more? You know what really gets me more than anything? More than anything is how other people are taking this. Well, I guess if Bruce Jenner can say he's a girl, then I guess she can say she's black. Then I can say I'm a freaking ballpoint pen. That doesn't make any sense either, does it? Well, of course not. Well, of course not. Because I'm not a ballpoint pen. Bruce Jenner is not a girl. And Rachel Dolezal is not a black woman. She has never been black. She is nowhere near black. There's nothing in her genealogy. Probably, if you'd have to go all the way back to Adam and frickin' Eve to find any black in her at all. You're not black. Stop acting black. And NAACP, shame on you. Shame on you. I think that this is a death knell for the NAACP. If the NAACP is willing to accept somebody into their ranks at any position who is a known liar, who has perpetrated fraud on the organization and its members for so many years, that completely disqualifies them. It doesn't matter any of the things that you think that have gone on that have been good. This bit of fraud that you are now codifying into your history disqualifies you from now and forever. So for me, as far as I'm concerned, the NAACP is officially dead as of today. So Urban League, here's your chance. Here's your chance. Because the NAACP has been here. Urban League kind of been right behind them. Now they're dead, and now you can move into that spot now because they are dead. They are dead. Any organization that says that they are for the advancement of colored people, ostensibly black people, and then would rather embrace a white woman who is faking it. Not even a white woman who says, you know what, I really believe in what this cause is, because the NAACP was founded by white people, was founded by white folks to start with, but I really believe in the cause and I'm willing to work in this cause. See, that would be one thing. But this is a woman who lied to everybody she saw. She lied to everybody she saw. Everybody she talked to. She talked about that she had to make adjustments in the timeline of events. She lied about everything she did, and to everybody she saw, to everyone she talked to, she lied. She's a liar, and the truth is not in her. And you embrace her to protect your reputation, which is horrifically sullied anyway. It's like trying to tell me that you're going to fall down in the mud to keep from getting dirty. The NAACP is dead as of today. Long live the NAACP. My name is Willie Lawson, and we'll be back with more of the Willie Lawson Show right after these messages. Hey, we're back. Thanks so much. Listen, I got to get off Facebook. I've said that before, but it's really true. I really have to get off Facebook because the things that people write on Facebook are making me a little insane in the brain. Um, because what they're saying is a lot of times is what they really believe. Um, a very, very good friend of mine, somebody I'm very close to, and had a big old crush on in college. Big old crush. I mean, kind of crush on in college. At the end of one of her posts wrote, "I'm not into politics." And I thought to myself, immediately I thought to myself, how can you not be into politics? This isn't knitting. This isn't woodworking. It's not sports. I can understand why you're not into sports. I can get that. It doesn't affect you. You've never really been affected by it. You really don't care much about it. You don't live in a place that has a lot of sports teams. You may live in a place like, let's see, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, for instance. That there's no sports teams in Fort Lauderdale other than some high school sports, possibly. There's no college teams there. There's no professional teams there. You've lived there all your life, and you just don't see a lot of it, and you never have. Okay, I understand why you're not in sports. However, no matter where you live, whether it's Tampa, Florida, whether it's New York City, New York, whether it's Chicago, Illinois, whether it's Detroit, Michigan, whether it's Los Angeles, California, whether it's Dover, Florida, whether it's Tueg or Mossy Head, Florida, whether it's Hawkinsville, Georgia, politics exists. If there are elected officials that set policy for you, then politics exists, and you're part of it. If you're being affected by it, then you're part of it. Then you're into it. One of those things like, well, I don't think about it, but it thinks about you all the time. It thinks about two things: how it affects you positively, and how to get a dime out of your pocket. That's what it does. So this whole idea that we don't have to be involved in politics, that it's going to go on, and this idea is, well, we can't do anything about it anyway. Well, that's not true. Thank you to President Obama and the people who supported President Obama, who took somebody that nobody knew anything about until 2008. Most people that voted for President Barack Obama had never heard of him before 2008. Never heard of him. And even then, when they were clicking the button, pushing the little button, or drawing in a little circle, still had never heard of him. Still didn't know what he was about. Only knew one thing: that he was a black Democrat. That's all. Well, two things. They knew he was black, and they knew he was a Democrat. And that's all they knew about him. And he's the president, twice elected president of the United States. Don't tell me that doesn't matter. Do not tell me it doesn't matter that they will do that. The infamous they, will do whatever they want. That's nonsense. They can only do whatever they want if you choose not to participate. If you choose not to be caught up, learned up. The most dangerous thing that we have in this country is not ISIS. It is an uninformed electorate. It is a disconnected electorate. Now, people will give all sorts of reasons and excuses why they are uninformed or disconnected. They say, well, I'm disconnected because I don't like all the fighting. I don't like all the back and forth and the Republican, Democrat, blah, 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 blah. Bullcrap. That's part of the thing, because the drama of it is part of the thing, and it always has been part of the thing, and that's not why you're disconnected. You're lying. You're disconnected because other people know so much more about it than you, and you don't want to look stupid. Well, guess what? Look stupid. Look stupid and learn is better than stay stupid and don't learn. Look stupid and learn. Ask questions. Have an open mind. There's going to be, because, think about this, there's a lot of this going on because it's so damn important. You don't have any problem. The same people don't have any problem with getting on Facebook and bemoaning the fact that this person or that person got voted off Dancing with the Stars or got to stay on Dancing with the Stars. You have no problem with that because that seems relevant and somehow relevant to you and important. You have any problem with discussing those kind of topics at length. I have no problem discussing topics like Bruce Jenner at length. I have no problem discussing topics like Kim Kardashian's ass at length. But do you know who your school board representative is? You don't have any idea. Do you know where they come from? Do you know what happened at the last school board meeting? Do you have any earthly idea what the big issue is in your county right now that's being discussed at the county commission meeting this week? Do you have any idea? City council? Do you know who your state rep is? How about your state senator? No, you don't. Why? Because you choose not to. And I'm passionate about this because it affects you and you and your children and grandchildren in a way that is important. You can't just not think about it. You can't just not think about it. You can't. You can't just say, I'm just not into it. It's too much. I saw someone's Facebook status that said, you know what, I hate politics and politicians. Really? Seriously? And that sort of attitude is supposed to, and they write this stuff because that's sort of supposed to elevate them above all the falderall of, frankly, how things really get done. Because in that falderall, in that of how things are actually getting done, these people are trying to have businesses and lives that are peaceable, but they're only peaceable because of somebody's decided that they're going to get involved in the struggle of politics. Just have policies in communities that allow other people to be successful. The election season is coming. It's going to be about 750 Republican candidates, it looks like. Jeb Bush just got in this week. We still are waiting for Scott Walker and possibly Chris Christie to get in the race. And who knows who else? Maybe me. No, I'm already running for something. Could be anybody. Maybe Bruce Jenner. Maybe Kim Kardashian. Would you care then? I bet you would. So we'll see. We'll see. And as this thing starts to get going, you gotta pay attention. Turn off the Kardashians. Turn on Little News. Turn down Dancing with the Stars and turn up a little C-SPAN. Maybe mix in a newspaper or something. Things are going the way they're going is because none of us, are pulling on the reins to stop it. Maybe it's time to. All right, listen, we're going to take a little break. We'll be back with more of the Will Lawson Show here on YouTube, Daily Motion, or wherever you see this, right after these messages. All right, well, welcome back to the Will Lawson Show here on YouTube or the Will Lawson Show page or wherever you found this video. We appreciate you being with us today, and we hope to do a few more of these. There's some other topics we need to get to, that's for sure. And one of the ones I'm going to get to on the next video is the campaign of black conservative candidates in minority districts. They tell you when you're right that you're always right about something you know. And they tell you when you do a radio show or do television to do things about stuff you know. And I'll tell you what, this is something that I know about. This is something that I'm living every day. And I think that there's a secret to it that, there's a secret in it that a lot of people don't realize. Even people who are into it, people who are who are ostensibly trying to help folks, I think that they're missing a big portion of the solution. They don't think they are because they've been successful. The hardest people to convince of anything that things aren't right are the people who have been successful at some level doing it. So I'm going to talk about that on the next video about qualifying and how important it is for minority conservative candidates to qualify in elections, because that's the main hurdle. We're going to talk about that next time, and then hopefully we'll have some feedback from you. You can always hook us up with feedback at WLS860@gmail.com. That's WLS860@gmail.com. Love to hear from you. Until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, take care of yourself. We'll see you when we see you.